guest, welcome to today's Big Brother 18 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Nick Steed. Nick, I love your question. So Nick is like, if your 4 animals were people, how would each one of them do individually on Big Brother? I love that question. Okay, so if you guys don't know this, I have 2 dogs and 2 cats. So I think that Homer and Lucy would be out pretty early because Homer can be quite abrasive. If you're not looking at him and he's behind you, he'll like claw you to get your attention. I don't think people would like that. So I feel like he would be out pretty early. Lucy is like all the time, and I think that would rub people the wrong way. So you know how like in the beginning, kind of like the loud people are usually easy targets? Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I love all my pets. I'm just saying this is how they would do, okay? Gaston, he's very quiet. He's kind of like a Steve Moses type. I think he would make it really far. But I think Flash would win because he would have a great social game, and I think he'd be really good at competitions. So I think that puppy would be the winner. Yes! Alright, so thank you so much for your question, and if you guys want to be house guest of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, so I have a question. Since when is Big Brother BB in Paradise? Like, what the F is this? I turn on the feeds and I'm just like, what is this garbage? So, Nicole and Zakiya were talking about their men like all damn day yesterday. They've stopped playing Big Brother. They've moved on to a dating show or something, or like a half dating show when like half of the couple is invested in this relationship and the other half is not. Yeah, so Zakiya is really frustrated that Pauly hasn't kissed her yet, and he doesn't ask her about her personal life. He just talks to her about game and asks her if she wants food. I think, you know, asking someone if they want food is lovely. But anyway, Nicole keeps reassuring her like, oh no, Pauly likes you, and then she's trying to like give all this advice and stuff, and I can't. So then they were talking about how they were both annoyed that Day was having this long chat with Natalie. Natalie and Day were talking about real life outside of the house, by the way. But they were like, yeah, Day knows that Zakiya's upset with Natalie, so like, why is she doing that? It's not cool. And we know that Zakiya's upset with Natalie because she asked to take pictures with Pauly with the HOH camera. Are you freaking kidding me? Stop. So then they're like, doesn't Davon know she's on the block this week? She shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Alright, so let's talk about Frank and Bridget. I never thought I would be so happy to watch them on the feeds. But they were having a game chat in the Safari room, and they were talking about this plan that Tiffany came up with to expose Day to Nicole. Get ready for this. So Tiffany wants Nicole to hide in that chest in the Safari room while Frank is talking to Day in there. And then the idea is to try and get Day to like say stuff. What are you doing? You're supposed to be good so you can win the game. So the idea is to get Day to say stuff about Nicole so that Nicole will be like, I want her out. But they're not into this plan. Frank and Bridget are just like, no, we're not doing this. And it wouldn't work anyway because Frank is like, James has already hid in there before and he said that you can't really hear anything. It's all like mumbles. And also, Day would not open up to Frank like that. They're not on that level. And Nicole would think it's freaking weird. She's not going to do that. So they're like, no, we're not going to do that plan. But I thought it was worth mentioning because it was kind of funny. But anyway, Frank is saying if they don't get Day out this week, they'll put her up next week with Zakiya and Raffi the giraffe. They are really getting sick of Zakiya, and I kind of see what they're talking about because I feel like the mean girl is really coming out with her, and it's not nice. And she's like running around with that stuffed animal, and it's just like, it's all too much. It's all too much. So then Frank was campaigning more to Pauly for Tiffany to stay. We know that he's been planting seeds throughout the week, but now he's trying to hammer it home because he's running out of time here. It's getting closer to the eviction. So Pauly is like, well, I do want to get rid of Day, but Tiffany's got to go first. She's just like Vanessa. So Frank has some new campaign points. He's really evolved this argument. So now he's saying like Day is digging her hooks into people. Like, look how she was investing all that time into Natalie. talking about real life again. And Natalie can't even vote this week. So Frank is saying that this shows that Day is really thinking long term. She's already convinced that she's staying this week, and Frank doesn't like that. So Frank says that Day is also very close to Michelle, and she might even have her hooks in Nicole, which I don't think is true. But Frank is trying to push that to freak Paulie out. So then he's like, and then you look over at Tiffany, and she's all by herself on an island. Like, she's got nobody. So then Frank is bringing up the jury again, and he's saying Day is a very persuasive person. She could really poison the jury against us, like we're in the finals. So then Paulie's like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but Tiffany's got to go first. Okay, so then Zakiya was talking about her poly issues with Day in the HOH. And Day has got to be sitting there thinking in her head like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm up on the block this week. I'm actually playing the game, and then there's all this shit happening. Who cares? So, yeah, she's just like, while Zakiya's talking. And then Nicole comes in with some food, and she's complaining about something that happened with Frank, and this is like so ridiculous. So Nicole went into one of the bedrooms and was like looking over at Corey while he was sleeping. So she was like checking to make sure he was still breathing. What? She said, it was really weird because I know that Corey doesn't sleep during the day a lot, so like I'm just making sure he's okay. And I guess Frank was like, leave him alone, let him sleep, and that woke Corey up. So then Nicole was all disgusted about that. So Nicole's just like, Frank needs to mind his own business. I can check on who I want to check on. She's like, I'm a nurse, so like I know how to check if people are breathing. This is so ridiculous. So then Zakiya is already planning Nicole and Corey's wedding. She's just like, I can't wait to be in your wedding one day. And Nicole's just like, yeah, but like, even if it's not me, whoever ends up marrying Corey is going to be the luckiest girl in the world. Okay, so now I want you guys to juxtapose all of that nonsense with how the guys have been talking about the girls. So then Corey and Paulie were chatting in the storage room, and Corey's like, hey, what's up, doggy? He was like, do you guys notice he says that all the time? It just sounds really funny, like, what's up, doggy? So then Corey was telling Paulie, yeah, I think Zakiya's upset with you because she, like, wants you to kiss her or something. And Paulie's like, why is everyone trying to get us to kiss? Like, he doesn't want to get into all that on TV. He's here to play a game. Smart. And he doesn't want to get all wrapped up in that. So Corey's like, yeah, I see what you're saying, but we need to keep the girls close. So then Paulie's like, wait, you think I should kiss Zakiya for the game? And Corey's like, no, but like, we gotta keep them close, strategy-wise. So you know, they're thinking like, we gotta keep dangling that carrot in front of them. That's what's going on there. Because they agree, it's good for both of their games to keep the girls around. For now. And then when the time's right, clip them. That's one of Paulie's phrases. You gotta clip them. Oh no, tag, both. He says clip them or tag them. Usually he only says tag when it's like someone he doesn't like. He's like, yeah, we're gonna tag Frank next week. Alright, so then Frank comes in, and again he's saying like, Day has to go this week. And Paulie's like, well, I don't want to miss another opportunity to take out Tiffany when there will be other opportunities to get rid of Day. Alright. Back to Nicole. She was just having a great day, but then last night she was having a meltdown. Apparently Corey told her about this ex-girlfriend of his that's like obsessed with him or something. I don't know. He's like saying she's a crazy ex-girlfriend. So Nicole's just freaking out. She's worried that this ex-girlfriend hates her and it's gonna beat the crap out of her. And Nicole's like, there's no point even flirting with him. It's never gonna go anywhere if she's still in the picture. And like, what's the point? And it's like, why? So then she's also saying that she hopes that he's not using her to make the ex jealous. And then Zakiya says, oh my god. Zakiya's just like, no, if he was doing that, like, a guy would use someone like Natalie to make a girl jealous. Ouch! That hurts. I don't think she meant for it to sound like that, but that's, wow. Okay. So they like figure it all out, whatever. Alright, so then the house guests were playing hide and seek together last night, and they were all getting along, and it was all fun and games, until Polly and Natalie hid together under one of the beds, and Zakiya was pissed. Alright, so we know that Zakiya does not like when Polly talks to Natalie, looks at Natalie, anything with Natalie. So she's asking Nicole, like, what do I do? What? She's in crisis mode. What does she do? So Nicole is like advising her, just play hard to get, act like you don't even care, act like you're not jealous. And then she was like, if he wants to throw away, well, no, wait. She was pumping Zakiya up. She's like, you're beautiful, you're like a dream girl for any guy, and you have great morals, and blah, blah, blah. And if Polly wants to throw all of that away for someone he considers a Jersey girl, then so be it. What does that even mean? I can't. Okay, so then James, last night, it was like 3 something in the morning, he dropped some info to Polly in the storage room, and he's like, alright, I just want to say, Day is my girl, and this can't get out, but Day was telling me that we need to go after the Showmances. Oh my god, James, what are you doing? So Polly's like, yeah, I figured, like, I got that, and then Paul comes in, and they're all saying, like, Tiffany should still go this week, and then they were talking about their future targets. Polly says, we're going to tag Frank, then we're going to tag Day, and then we're going to tag Bridget. Alright, so a little while later, Paul and Polly were chatting alone, and they were talking about their ideal endgame. I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but a little more to the story now. They want the final 8 to be 4 guys and 4 girls. So for the guys, we have Paul, Polly, Corey, and James. And then for the girls, Nicole, Natalie, Zakiya, and Michelle. So they're like, oh yeah, final 8 will win HOH because they're going to win all of the HOHs for the rest of the game. And they're going to take out Natalie first because they think that'll be the easiest thing to do. So then they're going to have the numbers advantage, 4 guys to 3 girls. And at that point, they can just pick off the girls and go to the final 4 with just the guys. And that sounds dreadful. Alright, so today, Day has been making the rounds. She's trying to make sure that she's got the votes because tomorrow's eviction day. So she's got to figure that out. So she checks in with Nicole. And she's like, I just wanted to, like, see where you're at right now because I feel like there's been some distance between us this week. Are we good? And Nicole's like, I think so. She's like, this happens all the time with me in real life, even with my best friends. Like, I just, like, distance myself or something. I don't know. She's kind of, like, talking in half sentences. But Day was like, well, I'm not like that. Like, I fight for my friendships, and I want things to be good with us. So she's like, I noticed that you and Zakiya have been getting a lot closer. Like, did I do something? And Nicole's like, no, I want to squash this. So they agree that they want to, you know, get things back to where they were before. I don't see that ever happening, but sure. So then Nicole was telling Zakiya about the conversation, and they weren't, like, that happy about it. They don't trust Day. They feel like she's moving over to the other side, and it seems like they're not going to be working together again unless Day wins HOH. So then they change the conversation. Of course, they got to talk about Polly. So Zakiya's like telling Nicole how she like faked this nightmare this morning to get Polly to pull her closer. Oh my god, you sound like a psycho! Just stop! Just stop! Stop! Okay. So then Nicole and Corey were discussing the whole Day thing, and they were talking about, you know, we gotta get rid of her because she's a threat, blah, blah, blah. So they're talking about potentially flipping the vote this week, and then they're like, no, we can't do that, we can't do that. It would piss off Polly. They're not really sure the votes would be there anyway, but then they're thinking maybe Tiffany can stay if she, like, calls Day out in front of everyone. I don't see how that's gonna change things, but I don't know. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually flip the vote tonight or not. You know, everything happens on Wednesday night, usually. So yeah, eviction tomorrow. And there's been some speculation about the buyback because throughout the week the house guests have been having HOH lockdowns for a while, like hour and a half at a time or whatever. So they're like, what's going on? Like, this is weird. So they're thinking somebody could be coming back, and they're right. All right, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who are you thinking is going to go this week, and who do you want to come back? And until tomorrow, much love.